Hi everyone. Today we are going to be doing another at-home experiment for you guys to possibly try at home. Today we are going to be looking at chemical reactions and a pretty neat little demonstration. Now, we are going to be using fire today, so if this is something you want to try at home, please make sure you have your parents' permission. Nobody needs to burn anything down trying to do this. So make sure you either have permission or supervision to do this experiment. So the things we are going to need, of course, paper towels for cleanup. You are going to need a candle of some sort, vinegar. I just got regular old distilled white vinegar. Smells really bad. My whole room smells like vinegar right now. You need a pitcher of some sort of container. Doesn't have to be this big. You just need to have it. Just needs to be big enough to hold a little bit of vinegar. And our last ingredient, baking soda. So baking soda and vinegar is what's going to cause our chemical reaction. So first thing we are going to do, I'm going to move this stuff off a little bit here, is we are going to go ahead and light our candle. So I have just a 3-wick candle here that I'm using. I've had this in my classroom for a while because I've done this experiment in front of students before. But first thing you just need to do is you just need to make sure you just light your candle. Okay? Easy peasy. The next thing is you are going to take some of your baking soda, probably about, I don't know, I have 2 tablespoons in there. You just pour right to the bottom of your pitcher. Now, before I go any further, the whole point, the question of this is, can I put this fire out without any liquid or blowing on the candles? That's the whole point of this. So, maybe I can, maybe I can't. We're going to find out. So after we have our baking soda in the bottom here, we're just going to take some vinegar. Now, you're going to want to be careful because this is going to cause a reaction. So you're not going to pour a bunch of vinegar in here because it's going to bubble up really, really high, and you don't want to make a mess. So I'm just going to take, and I'm just going to pour a little bit of vinegar. You see how much that bubbled up? So you just pour a little bit of vinegar in it. And then what you're going to do is you are going to pour. Voila. I just put candles out without any sort of liquid or anything else. Let's see if there's enough in there to do it again. So, the question you might be asking you is, what sort of witchcraft is this? I didn't cast some kind of magic spell or anything on that to do that. So, one thing that fire needs to happen, that fire has to have in order to happen, is oxygen. Fire cannot survive without oxygen. That's it. This fire, as it's going right now, it's basically taking that oxygen around it and that's how it's able to keep burning. So inside of this pitcher, this chemical reaction that I made from baking soda and vinegar, what it does is when it reacts, it creates a new gas. And that gas basically sits inside of this pitcher. It is less dense than air. Or it's more dense than air, I'm sorry. When something is more dense than air, it sinks. So because it's more dense than air, it stays inside of this pitcher. So when I pour, I'm basically pouring that gas out of here because it's going from there and it's sinking. The air is basically going on top of it. It's sinking under the air. So it's basically pouring right into that and out, and eventually it'll go down to the ground where it dissipates into the rest of the room. So when that gas pours out of this pitcher into that, it robs, it suffocates that fire to where it doesn't have any more oxygen and it goes out. Let's see if we can do it one more time here. So when a fire has no oxygen, it goes out. That's why sometimes if you have a grease fire, you put something on top of it, because it suffocates the fire and it goes out. Let's see. Yep. Oh, almost poured some in there. So when you're doing this experiment, see, I only put about, if you can see, there's only, I don't know, not even a cup, maybe half a cup, quarter cup of vinegar in there. So a couple tablespoons of baking soda, a couple, about a half a cup of vinegar in it. When it reacted, it almost went all the way up to the top here. But when you pour, you have to make sure you're careful that you don't pour the liquid out, because the liquid's going to put the fire out anyway. But you want to make sure that you're careful enough. If this really isn't going to help, but if you can put this on sideways like that, that kind of might let some of that gas out without having to pour the liquid. So that's our little home demonstration and why it happened. Science, folks. Peace.